Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Jam Happy Hour. Thanks for tuning in. Today is Thirsty Thursday, and that is why today we're pairing wine and music. And I'm really excited because today's artist, not only is this person just amazingly talented at being a human being and just being very articulate about their life in general, but they have a knack for music. And this person goes by the name of Noah Guthrie. How we doing, Noah?
Doing all right. Doing very well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And what time is it where you're tuned in from in
It is
South
7
Carolina?
o'clock. 7 o'clock here.
7 o'clock. Okay, so you're like well past the happy hour.
Well, I mean, happy hour is what you make it, right?
It's true. One of my friends was like, oh, well, during a pandemic, isn't like every hour happy hour? Like it's 11 a.m.
Yeah, no, that is for
it's
sure. Yeah, that is for sure. I think we all found that out.
I bought a bar cart during the pandemic because
Well, at
I was
least
like,
it was
well,
fancy. At least you made
yeah.
the pandemic fancier.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank you for tuning in today and providing us with your jams. Very excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
But I have a question before we head into the first song. So for everyone that's tuned in, thank you to everyone tuned in. But where would you suggest between like Instagram, Facebook, all the platforms, your website, like I know you have a newsletter, where do you think people should subscribe to? If not all, what's the number one for updates?
Well, I think, obviously the website is great for like tour updates and stuff like that, so you can go to noahguthrie.com for that. But if you want to just interact with me a little more, probably Instagram. Yeah, probably Instagram.
Perfect. Yeah. And I know you have some merch on your website at noahguthrie.com. Okay. So some shirts.
Yeah, I got some shirts. I actually can't remember at this point if we have vinyl right now or not. I don't think we do. But yeah, there's always, merchandise is getting updated all the time.
Amazing. Now, score from 1 to 10. How comfortable are the t-shirts?
Oh, I would say at least like an 8 or 9. If I'm going to be honest with you, like that's pretty good, right?
Yeah. They look super comfy, and I just love the style of everything you have going on in the store on your site, and really looking forward to what you have coming up towards the end of the summer.
Yeah,
so excited.
Same here.
All right. So with that being said, we are going to head into the first song here in a sec. Let us know where you're tuning in from in the comments. We love to see it, and let us know what you're sipping on this Thirsty Thursday. All right, Noah, you ready?
I'm ready to go.
All right.
He hung around for a while, made a claim on a life he swore would never change. He watched it burn away. She didn't call for a while. He counted on time to do its thing. She watched him fade away. Blame your own decisions. You can blame it on a million things. Childhood has ended and you never got a chance to grieve. And he said, hell, I water, I've been running for a long, long time. Long, long time. Hell, I water, I've been running for a long, long time. First he needed a break to loosen up, shake out his feet and start moving. Or just keep moving. Hey! Then he needed some time to sort it out, draw a hard line to stand behind. Oh, what do you believe in? 20 years comes and goes before you can even speak. Sometimes risking it all can feel like the safest thing. And he said, hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time, long, long time. Hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time. Now he's choking on his words, 'cause he finally heard that getting older is just another term for surviving. Hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time, long, long time. Hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time. He's been around for a while, body's aching, hands are shaking. He begins to smile.
Woo!
Thank
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Noah Guthrie, everybody. So if you're just now tuning in, thank you first and foremost for joining us for Jam Happy Hour. Noah Guthrie, he can be found using the links that are going to be posted throughout today's show. You can find the website. It's just noahguthrie.com. Plenty of stuff to find over there. You can subscribe to the newsletter. You've got merch, just amazing stuff. We got Julianne. Hey, how you doing? Looks like she's pouring something up wherever she's tuned in from. And when it comes to your social, so you said Instagram is where you're most connected in terms of like day-to-day updates for people.
Yeah, I think Instagram is kind of, that's what I engage with the most. I do have a TikTok now. If you guys want to go to TikTok, I'm still kind of building that up, so it doesn't look very impressive yet. But that's noahguthrie.music on TikTok. So if you want to hit that up, you can do that too.
Perfect. I'm gonna have to ask you after the show, like how the hell to navigate that platform, because I feel like an 80-year-old.
Ask me that. Yeah. No,
I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm the same way. I'm trying to figure it out. You know, I'm starting to kind of get there a little bit, but not nearly as much as everyone else I see in there. I'm so impressed with everybody. First of all, how much time do you have to actually make TikToks like where they're really, really good and gain traction? So who knows?
I would say just throw a pandemic into the mix, and then people got
exactly.
time on their
I know.
hands to figure it out.
I wish that's what I would have taken my pandemic energy to, but I just didn't. So anyway,
my goodness.
yeah.
And your Instagram and Facebook, I think both handles are just only number one, Noah.
Yep. That's
And there's
it.
only one of you. You're unique.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of that was a conceited way to make that when I first made that username, but you know, it is what it is.
I love it. Imagine my name's Sam Smith, so how do I make a username? It's ridiculous.
Sure,
And
yeah,
it's just-
especially with Sam Smith out there now.
Yeah,
So like,
I know. I can't sing, by the way.
well.
So like the very first instrument that you ever were surrounded by or like got to use was it like abandoned at your dad's office or something?
Yeah, man. Oh wow, yeah, that's deep cut. So yeah, I mean, one of the first guitars I ever had. My dad used to run a online consignment shop back when that was still something you could do.
Right.
And you know, people would come and drop off stuff at his office space, and he would try and sell it for him, and get a percentage and stuff like that. So he had a bunch of stuff all the time in this office space that after school or whenever I was with him and he had to work that weekend, I would just go and hang out and basically just play with other people's stuff for a little while.
Yeah.
And I saw a guitar there, and I was kind of just getting into it. And he said, yeah, I've got to sell that to somebody. And then I think a week or so went by, and he was like, you know what, it's really not selling at all, and this person doesn't want it back, and if you want it, you can have it. So it was a nice like special treat for me, and did help to kind of kick off my creativity a little bit, because I had always been singing and never really had any instrument to go with it. So
Right.
I'm happy he did that, because it really did that kind of kicked things off for me in a lot of ways.
Heck yeah. And well, speaking of creativity, like I love to hear from all the musicians that I interview, like about the creative process, especially how it's, if at all, kind of evolved or you've had to adapt over the past year, almost year and a half, over the course of the pandemic. But I know that you kind of go off of this like gut feeling that you get, whether it be just an idea or a plot for a song or just the general sense. And then you move on to the instrumental side of things with the guitar and then lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, it is different for everybody. It's different for every situation, really. But I mean, I think for me, music in general comes from such a kind of deep emotional place that really when I sit down to write a song, it's not even, obviously I'm trying to tell a good story and hook a listener and do all that stuff, but I'm also just really trying to, express and emote whatever I've got on my plate that day. And for me, I feel like people should be able to not only connect with the story you're singing, but they should also feel it from you. They need to feel that you feel it. Or else it doesn't quite happen, doesn't quite come across the same way. And it may still connect with somebody, but I feel like if you're trying to be an authentic songwriter and an authentic singer, I think that you need to put what you've got into it, and that's just kind of how I've always gone about it. Leading with your gut is kind of a good way to say it.
Yeah. Spoken like a true Aquarius. I love it.
Man, I'm gonna have to study that stuff. I mean,
I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
I
please
got
do.
you.
Please do.
But yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of music. I think music has carried us all through this past year plus of just insanity. And I think the way that we've stayed sane is probably a combination of wine and music.
Mostly
I would
wine,
say.
but yeah,
Mostly
sure.
wine.
I think you're right.
So thank you to everyone who's tuned in right now. Make sure you check out jamsellers.com. If you go to jamsellers.com/buy, that link's going to be posted below. Then you can access a variety of different ways that you can purchase our products, whether it be straight to your doorstep through us, or if you want to use our wine finder tool, just type in your zip code if you're within the United States, and you can access all the locations nearest you in your neighborhood that supply our wines and replenish that supply as we approach the weekend, especially. And in addition to that, make sure that you head over. It's just noahguthrie.com.
That's me.
And check out his cool merch. I think you said 8, but I'm going to say it's an 11 out of 10 when it comes to the comfort level of those t-shirts, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably, if I'm promoting my own product, I probably should have gone with like an 11 out of 10, right? But, honesty is what I was going for. Yeah. And I feel like, 8 out of 10 is pretty comfy, but, it's probably more like an 11. You're right.
An 11, maybe even a 12, you guys.
Sure.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
All right. So what do you say we do 2 songs back to back now?
Sounds good. That sounds fine to me.
What are we going to hear?
So this next song is a song called Things to Fix. It's It's about skipping over the most important things on your to-do list for all of that mundane stuff, and basically just not confronting what you really need to confront, which I think we've all been there. So this is one called Things to Fix.
Table leg, the back door latch, cabinet with a worn out catch, picture frame doesn't hold the nail. There's water underneath the floor, window won't quite shut no more, the middle drawer is riding off the rail. There ain't enough hours in the day. Patch it up, dust it off, make it all okay. What I should have said, what I should have done. I keep skipping over number one on my list of things to fix. Give these faded walls a coat, clean around that folded note. Finally go out and get a ring for that key that I can never find. You blame it on my drifting mind. I can't seem to hold on to a thing. I'll work on something till it shines like new. Oh, but I can never bring myself to shine for you. What I should have said, what I should have done. I keep skipping over number one on my list of things to fix. Oh, every time the second hand ticks, I think of something else I might have missed. But the list is getting longer, and I'm running out of breath, but I can't face it. What I should have said, what I should have done. I'm still skipping over number one on my list of things to fix.
Thanks, y'all. That one's called Things to Fix. It's going to be on my new record when that comes out later in the summer. And this next song is also going to be on my new record. And it's a song called Feel It Now. And if you want to kind of see a more behind-the-scenes look at this song in particular and kind of how it was written, you can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/onlyoneNoah. And if you just browse through the videos, there's a vlog I made quite some time ago now about this song and kind of where it came from. This is a song about two people who are finding out just how hard love can be, how hard it is to truly give yourself to a person and make a relationship work. And again, it's called Feel It Now.
Think of something when the time feels right. Ain't no use in throwing stones tonight. Never felt this way before, but I feel it now. I feel it now. Another year of this I should have known. Said being near me makes her feel alone. Well, you don't have to say it, it ain't hard to figure out. 'Cause I feel it now. little fire, a little smoke. It's got me thinking about the words we wrote. B for the lion, B for the pain, it's all the same. Lord, it's all the same thing. Ooh. I know your words have got you feeling tall. In the same breath you make me feel so small. Go on and speak your gospel. I want to hear you sing it out, so you can feel it now. A little fire, a little smoke. It's got me thinking about the words we wrote. B for the lion, B for the pain, it's all the same. Lord, it's all the same thing. Don't pull your punches, let it go. I wanna know there's nothing left unsaid before the dawn. A little fire, a little smoke. It's got me thinking about the words we wrote. B for the lion, B for the pain, it's all the same. A little fire, a little smoke. It's got me thinking about the words we wrote. B for the lion, B for the pain, it's all the same. Lord, it's all the same thing.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Noah Guthrie, everybody. So if you're just now joining us, thank you, first and foremost. But we just heard two songs back to back. We heard Things to Fix, and then we just heard Feel It Now. And was it Things to Fix where you co-wrote that song? Was it Maya Sharp?
Yeah, Maya Sharp. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's incredible.
I mean the story that she had behind that, and then like you had your separate, understanding and meaning behind the song, but like her 21-year, I think 20 or 21-year marriage, and like doing what I, as a Virgo, absolutely would do is just clean and adjust everything in a new house.
Yeah. Yeah, we wrote it, and yeah, it was just a really, it's one of those songs that just kind of clicked as soon as we wrote it together. We're like, yeah, this one is fantastic. We like, this is one that we both relate to, and yeah, it's always good when you find somebody that really understands you as a writer, and really understands how to help you and how to bring out the best in your writing. And I definitely found that in Maya. She's a very good friend and a really, really great songwriter.
Amazing. How do the two of you know each other?
We just met just kind of on a somebody said, hey, you guys should write together, and we're like, okay. So it just kind of happened that way. Yeah, it kind of happened that way, and she ends up coming to my neck of the woods a good bit just because she has some friends over here, and we wrote that song together, and then she said, hey, I'm coming to South Carolina and would love to get together and write some more. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then since then we've written a few more together, and yeah, she's just she's for me, she's kind of a badass in her own way, because she writes and produces and engineers all her own stuff, and also just has a great head on her shoulders, has a great outlook on the world, and is very, very wise to me. I don't know if she would characterize herself as wise, but I definitely do. So yeah, she's just become a very good friend.
Well, shout out to Maya if
Yeah.
you're watching, even if it's like what trips me out about these videos when they're live is people are going to go and watch them in the future. So if you're in the future watching, Maya, if you're not live watching right now and you're watching in the future, what's up?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, so then that last one that you just did, Feel It Now, you were mentioning that it kind of stems from trying to get a relationship to work, which I feel like whether it's platonic or romantic, what have you, family, friends, a partner, like we've all been there where we feel like we're putting in all the work sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it's too. I just think it's you start to realize how hard it can be every day to choose that person. You have
Yeah.
to kind of wake up and choose to love that one person as like corny and rom-com movie as that sounds, but it is true. I mean, you really do have to. You have to put in a lot of work that I don't think you're always, you're not always expecting to, I guess, when it first starts out. But yeah, I think we can all kind of relate to that at some point.
Right. Well, I told this joke yesterday, but I'm going to tell it again because
for it.
it's relevant again. But, oh, and by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but for each joke I tell, you take a sip.
Oh, great. I'm ready.
Relationships, I mean, I feel like they tend to be a lot like algebra. When you compare a relationship with a person to math, but algebra specifically, in both cases, you look at your ex and you wonder why.
Wow.
Cheers.
Wowzers. That was a
Cheers,
good one.
everybody.
That
Thank
was
you.
pretty good. Man.
Thank you. They might not be splendid throughout the next half hour, but that's why you take a sip. It makes it easier.
That is okay. That is totally okay.
Oh my goodness. Well, cheers to you, Noah, and cheers to everyone watching. And let's get into another song. Are we doing a cover now?
Yeah, we're gonna do a cover. So this is a song by Mr. James Taylor, and
Yeah.
I had actually not really known about this song until recently, and ever since I found it, I kind of took it for my own for a little while, just because I think it kind of suits my voice. It's a James Taylor blues song called Steamroller Blues.
I'm a steamroller, baby, bound to roll all over you. I'm a steamroller, baby, bound to roll all over you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna inject your soul with some sweet rock and roll and shoot you full of rhythm and blues. I'm a cement mixer, darling, a churning urn of burning funk. Oh, yes I am. I'm a cement mixer, darling, a churning urn of burning funk. I'm a demolition derby, a hefty hunk of steaming junk. Woo! Oh yeah. I'm a napalm bomb, baby, just guaranteed to blow your can't have your love for my own. Sweet child, will nothing be left behind. You know I got a bad case of them steamroller blues.
Woo! Cheers.
Yeah, thank you. You gotta sing the blues sometimes, you know?
I feel like I didn't do you justice because you just did that cover and you did it really well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you to everyone who's tuned in right now. Make sure that you check out our links and Noah's links. So if you need to replenish your wine supply, everything behind me here is available at jamcellars.com/buy. And there's a variety of ways that you can access the products, whether you want it delivered or you want to go check it out at your local store. We've got all that info for you on the site if you go to that link, jamcellars.com/buy. And, of course, make sure that you go venture over to noahguthrie.com and the handle for his social, so Facebook, Instagram, you just go to only one, the number one, Noah, and that's how you get there.
That's how you get, that's it. That's where it stops.
Yeah, easy as that. So, Steamroller Blues, love that cover, love the song. So what do you call Batman and Robin after they get run over by a steamroller?
I don't know what.
This one's it's terrible, but it's okay. Flatman and Ribbon.
Wow.
It's yeah. This is why the sips are a thing.
Well, it helps them go down a little easier. Man. So do you have like a whole, I'm assuming you have some kind of spreadsheet that has just all the jokes, or are you just like that's your thing? Okay, cool. Great. I applaud you for it. That's really great.
Thank you. I am a magician, so I can't reveal the secret.
Right, of course.
I'd have to. But I do want to ask you before we get into a couple more songs. So tell me a little bit about like day one of music for you, because I know it started from some inspiration through the family tree, and then you did this amazing thing on YouTube. But tell me how you went from that point and then ended up on Glee and ended up as Roderick.
Yeah. So the kind of long, kind of short version. Yeah, I've been singing as long as I can remember, and always knew that I knew that I would like had a talent for singing, but I didn't know if I was gonna do anything with it or anything. And when you're a kid, especially if you grew up in a town where I did, where it's just it's not like the biggest town in the world, and you just don't see that many opportunities, I guess, from the kind of music side of things. I didn't know if I was going to pursue it, and eventually, like I said earlier, I got a guitar, and just kind of started taking this voice that I had and giving some words to it, and started writing songs. Fell in love with writing songs. I wrote a song. One of my first songs I ever wrote was the song I wrote for really for my grandmother when my grandfather had passed away. And I was a kid and basically just took everything that I remembered about him, and he was a very like mythically big figure in our family. He was a huge influence in our family, and I just knew that maybe my family would want this as a gift. So I did that, and kind of just fell in love with that whole process. I fell in love with writing music that made me feel something, and I ended up doing that as much as I could, and eventually I also, as you're learning guitar, as you're learning music and stuff, you need to learn cover songs and songs that you like, so that you can figure out what your specialty is, and
Right.
what you like, what you don't. And I ended up covering a U2 song which is one of my favorite bands. And I covered Where the Streets Have No Name by U2. And I put that on YouTube for no reason at all.
You put the
and
U2 on
the
YouTube.
Yep, you're right. And I will drink to that one too. So I did that really for no reason. Actually, I think my dad put it on YouTube. So put that up, and I was just doing my thing, just learning more songs, writing songs and stuff. And then I got some just unexpected attention from that, and it kind of pushed me into doing more of those covers and just kind of putting my own spin on these songs, putting them on YouTube, and kind of getting my name out there. And it was still kind of like, I don't know if am I doing this for like a reason, really?
Right. Were you like a junior in high school at this point?
I think probably a sophomore going into junior year or something like that. And anyway, I put it on there and got some traction that I didn't expect, and I started doing more and more and more of them, and just kind of built a small fan base. And then I had a viral video of a cover song I did called "Sexy and I Know It" by LMFAO. Yeah, it was a very weird, random, out of the blue thing.
That's amazing.
And that blew up. And
I saw a thing real quick. I don't know. Okay, do you know who like the Warriors players are?
I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, it's okay. So just look up, like, it's basically a meme that someone recently created, and it's like, oh, LMFAO, they dropped like 3 songs, and then they just fell off the face of the planet, and then it was like comparing Steph Curry and I'm blanking on the other dude's name, but like comparing their faces and what they look like to LMFAO, and everyone was like speculating like, oh, are they actually LMFAO? So I'll send you that link in addition to all the other ones.
Please do.
Afterwards.
Yeah, so I covered that, and it blew up, and it was a viral video, and it gave me a lot of attention, a lot of followers all of a sudden. And all the while that I was doing those covers, I was also writing original music for my first record. And when that viral video happened, things kind of sped up, and we were just like, okay, I need to like put something out now while the iron's hot. And ended up recording my first record, putting that out there, and touring that as much as I could. Back then it was me and my dad in a rental car, just kind of going all over the country and playing wherever we could. And then, I did that for several years, kind of formed a band and took that on the road, started writing for a second album, and then I got a phone call out of the blue from the casting directors at Glee.
So you didn't audition?
Well, I did, yeah, but not before they called me. So what happened really is I played a house show in San Francisco, really small house show for like 10 people. I was just kind of filling the calendar, and it turned out to be a really great night. Had a good time. Played some music for some people, and one of the people at the house show was this guy who then, I think he was on X Factor or something like that at some point, and he the next weekend after my house show, and after seeing my performance, he went to a talent competition where he was judging. And one of the other judges on the panel with him was a casting director for Glee. Oh. And they had known each other and were just kind of catching up. And she was just like, yeah, we're looking for this one kind of person for this one part that we can't really figure out yet. And they said we needed a chubby, shy kid with a like Otis Redding type voice. And this guy on the panel was just like, I saw him last week, and you should give him a call.
Oh my God.
So that's basically what happened. It very weird kind of connections like that put me in contact with the Glee people. And I wasn't going to do it because I didn't know. I'm not an actor. I didn't know anything about that world. It was not on my radar at all. And then I realized, after thinking about it for a little while, I was just like, there are millions of people who would like give their right arm to do this and have this opportunity. Right. So maybe I should pursue it. So, I did a self-tape audition. I sent that in. And they liked it, and before I knew it, I was in Los Angeles, doing another audition for Ryan Murphy, the creator of the show, and thought that he absolutely hated me. I thought there was no chance in hell that I got the part. And for me, that wasn't like, I look back on it, there were several other people there auditioning for the same role, and I'm thinking like, they're probably like, just so like nail biting about this, and I was nervous because it was weird, but like I wasn't nervous because I was like, I hope I get this part because I didn't know.
Right. You're like, what is happening?
Yeah,
what is my life right now?
Yeah, so I did it, and I did the audition. I left, and they were like, yeah, so we'll call you. Get on the plane, go home, and we'll call you with whatever happens. And it's like, okay, cool. And I got on the plane the next day, and like while I'm boarding the plane, I got a phone call. From the casting director.
They were trying to play hard to get, probably at first.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They were. So they were just like, "Yep, go home. We need you back out here in 2 days." So I went home. I packed everything I could think of into a bag and went out to Los Angeles and lived there for probably 7 or 8 months while we shot. And it was crazy. It was a crazy experience. But it was great. I mean, I look back on that now and I'm so happy I did it still because I also have a lot of fans from Glee that have stuck around with me for forever, and they're super loyal and they like the original music, and it just worked out really well. I'm very happy that I got to play Roderick. Yeah,
so cool. And like, if you just think about all these little things, like I always talk about the butterfly effect, and like if you hadn't gone to that place in San Francisco that night, everything would have been different.
Never would have happened if that one person hadn't shown up to that house show.
Exactly.
If he had changed his plans, gotten dinner somewhere else, like anything like that. It's crazy how stuff happens like that.
So did you know Corey and Naya?
I knew Naya not extremely well. We had a couple scenes together, but nothing super in depth. I didn't know Corey. He was actually before my time.
Okay.
I heard nothing but good things about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Naya was very sweet. Super nice to me, and for me, it was weird because it was. I was kind of, my first scene ever was like I was thrown in to the entire cast, like the whole cast for 6 seasons of the show were surrounding my character and like trying to get him to join Glee Club, and I was just thinking about it. I was like, that was my first day ever acting or doing anything like that. And I'm like looking at all these like actors who get like, this is their job. This is what they do. But I
I'm
think
here.
about that, and yeah, it was weird, and it was I know it was devastating for everybody when Naya passed, and same, I know it was devastating for them when Corey passed. It's what do you do? It's just a terrible thing.
What we need to do right now is raise a glass to Corey and to Naya.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Cheers to everyone at home. Hope everyone is doing well. Just raise a glass. We're at least still here and breathing fresh air and able to cheers each other, even though it is virtually. Like, this is an amazing opportunity that we have in this new age of technology. And thank you so much, Noah.
Sure. Thank you.
Why don't let's go into a sort of high note now, because I feel like that's what they would want. And I think we should just continue the show in a positive manner. So you want to do 2 songs back to back?
Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
Awesome.
So this next song, and you know what? Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna switch these songs here. I know I had them in a certain order, but this next song is actually another cover song I wanna try for you guys tonight. This is one that I did a couple years ago on. I got the chance to be on America's Got Talent and sang this kind of acoustic version of this song, and it's one of my favorite songs ever by the Allman Brothers. And I'll try it for you guys.
I've been run down, I've been lied to, and I don't know why. Let that mean woman make me a fool. She took all my money and wrecked my new car. Now she's with one of my good time buddies. They're drinking in some crosstown bar. Sometimes I feel like I've been tied to the whipping post. Tied to the whipping post. Tied to the whipping post. Good Lord, it feels like I'm dying. Ooh, my friends tell me that I've been such a fool. I have to stand by and take it, baby. Oh, for loving you. Drown myself in sorrow when I look at what you've done. But nothing seems to change. Bad times stay the same. I can't go on. Sometimes I feel like I've been tied to the whipping post. Tied to the whipping post. Tied to the whipping post. Good Lord, it feels like I'm dying. Sometimes I feel like I've been tied to the whipping post. Tied to the whipping post. Tied to the whipping post. Good Lord, it feels like I'm dying. Thank you very much, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good time tonight. This next song is an original song of mine, and it's a little bit of a sad one, but it's a newer song of mine. It's called When You Go. Came alive when I saw you, like a lie that we lived through time and again. Fell apart when we came to. Had the world by the tail, we let it run off again. Where was I come the sunrise, when the light from your window crept onto the bed, all alone in a wasteland, and no room for the two of us inside of my head. When you go, I'll send you away. tried to change. Came alive when I saw you, and you said that you love me without a regret. Can you truthfully say now, after all we've been through, you do it over again? When you go, I'll send you away. As the seas that turns colder, waiting for something to break. When you go, how long will it take before I'm rid of these memories, the love that we tried to change, when you go, I'll send you away. 'Cause I can't be the man that you need. No, I can't be the man that can make you stay.
Thank you.
Oh, I was muted. Woo!
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Noah Guthrie, everybody. Make sure you check out the links that we've been posting all throughout this past almost hour now. Can't believe the time has flown, and that is thanks to you.
Oh, well, thanks.
Thank you. So before we get into the last song, I know you've been acoustically performing these songs over the course of this almost hour, and your first guitar, didn't you name it Cash?
Ha! Yeah, man. How did? Okay.
It was like the
That's good
Yamaha
research. Yeah.
Yamaha Thin Line.
Yeah. Wow. Man, that's really good research. I'm impressed. Yeah, I did. That was I think maybe that was my second guitar, but it was my first like touring acoustic guitar. And yeah, it was a Yamaha Thin Line, and it was all black. And I just thought I'd name it after the Man in Black. Man, I can't believe you knew that. That's crazy. I wish I still had that guitar. Actually, I gifted it to somebody who needed it. But yeah, man, that's so funny.
So I'm over here on the West Coast in California, and I actually have a lot of family over in the Sacramento area, and I know that you had covered Folsom Prison Blues as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cash,
Yeah.
and it's amazing. You like added this funk to it that.
Yeah, and that was even like a high school, like one of my high school bands I was in. I don't know. You like really did your research. This is fantastic. I was in a funk blues band in high school.
Did you have a name?
Yes, we had two names.
Oh,
Not at the same time. Our first name was Say When, and that was because we were all big fans of the movie Tombstone. And if you know the movie Tombstone, it's like an old Western. It's not an old, it's like the 90s. It was a Western with Kurt Russell and, I'm blanking on his name right now. But anyway, there's a character there called Doc Holliday, and he's this gunslinger. And every time he's about to get into a gunfight, somebody's like, basically the character's just
Right.
let's have a gunfight, and he's just like, say when. So that was the stupid.
is it
stupid
Val
thumbnail, but-
or Val Kilmer?
Yeah. Yes, thank you. So yeah, that was what we were first called, and then we ended up changing it to my last name, and I don't really remember why. I don't think maybe I did. Maybe I did cast a vote to change our name to Guthrie. I hope I didn't though. It seems kind of weird. I think
It's
everyone
like you
was on
can't
board with it,
nickname
though.
yourself.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I know. I hope everybody was truly on board with that. I haven't seen some of those guys in a while, but yeah, that's so funny.
What are their names? Because I'll call them out if they're watching. I'll say, comment, let me know. Did he?
Well, one of them
create-
is Alex Honeycutt, and I know him, and I have seen him. But one is named Zach Wells, and I think he lives out in Texas now. And is actually one of the better musicians I've ever known in my life. And,
Wow.
yeah, he's just one of those guys that like was always good at anything he picked up. And then the drummer was actually my brother, Ian Guthrie, who is actually still my drummer now. So
Perfect. So Zach Wells and Ian Guthrie, you let me know in the comments if you're watching right now. Did he coin the term for that second band name? Did
Man, I
he
hope
change
I
it to
didn't.
Guthrie?
I really hope I didn't.
Oh my
Very,
goodness.
very vain of me if I did.
Well, why don't we venture into that last song? And before we do that, just thank you, Noah. Thank you to everyone who's been watching today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This has been great. I really appreciate it. Thanks everybody watching. I hope to play some music for y'all in person sometime
Heck
in
yeah.
the near future when things are starting to
Real quick, we
ramp
gotta
back up. Oh yeah, absolutely.
cheers. How do you know the toothbrush was invented in South Carolina?
Ooh,
This is not, I don't think this is actually factual, but
I don't know.
because,
How?
well, okay, because if the toothbrush were to be invented in South Carolina, then it would be what it's called, toothbrush. But if it was invented like anywhere else, it'd be called a teeth brush.
Wow. Okay, man, boy, it took a minute to get there, but like it's also an insult and a joke, and I love it, and I'll take it. I will take that. You're not far off. Yeah.
I love all the Carolinas, okay?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I'm not hating on just
Right.
the South.
Of course. Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Oh my
goodness.
gosh. That was
Cheers.
great. All right, y'all. Again, thanks so much. Thanks for listening to me. This last song is a song of mine that you will be able to find on my new record. I have a new record called Blue Wall coming out in late summer. And if you follow any of the channels that they've been mentioning today, you'll know exactly when that date is as soon as I have that date. But this is one of the songs on that album. It's one of my favorite songs on that album. And it's a song about, with the past year, I think we've all kind of learned how addicting and how kind of mind-numbing staying in the news and everything can be. I don't mean you shouldn't stay informed. I think you should. But I think that we all can remember sometimes that we can actually unplug and we can, turn off the news for a little while and focus on what matters to us. And for me, that is, the people I love and the love of my life. So this is a song about that, and it's called Only Light I Need.
Honey, turn off the news. All it does is break glass, cut my ears. I don't wanna hear it anymore. If you don't wanna hear it anymore, I'm taking signals from you. Let's make a getaway fast so no one hears. I don't wanna be here anymore. If you don't wanna be here anymore. 'Cause the rain's relentless, or so it seems. And all the fighting senseless, turning friends to enemies. We're looking for the sunshine, buried in the headlines. But honey, you're the only light I need. let's get lost. Just take a deep breath, close our eyes. We've been standing in the smoke so long. Standing in the smoke so long. And the fire's relentless, or so it seems. Maybe these burning bridges are just setting us free. We're looking for the sunshine buried in the headlights. But honey, you're the only light I need. So can we just slow down and let the candle burn out? Oh honey, you're the only light I need. Ooh. Looking for the sunshine buried in the headlights. But honey, you're the only light I need. So can we just slow down, let the candle burn out? Oh honey, you're the only light I need. Oh honey, you're the only light I need. Honey, you're the only light I need.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Well, I hate to have to run, but
I know.
we ran a little overtime, which is perfect because that's how a live show normally rolls, right?
You're right.
You have
You
the
are right.
encore.
Yes, absolutely.
But thank you so much, Noah. Like, people have been watching over this past hour, and I just want to say thank you so much to, firstly, you're amazing. You have this just beautiful, guttural voice. No, and I mean that in the best way. Like,
No, thank
it
you.
is,
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
I've heard it before. Thank you.
It is amazing, and I think that you can replicate songs and do covers in your own sort of way. That's what makes it so unique and perfect, and I appreciated hearing all these covers and originals, and I can't wait for August to roll around and for us to get to
Same here.
witness it firsthand. That third release, so excited.
I know. I'm very excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Everyone, check out the links below. Keep yourself updated because in just a couple months, we're going to have that new release from Noah. And in the meantime, adios.
Goodbye, everybody.